Okay.
Greetings. Welcome to another edition of that economic development team here at Urban Impact. I'm Andre, and you are
Jaleel.
all right, and we are pumped to really be able to get in front of you and discuss some important economic principles. But first off, I'm gonna ask you what I asked this to our only team member that was loyal last week and was here with me. What has been the best purchase that you have made this year? Best purchase.
Best purchase I've made this year was it was an investment in myself. There's this business program that I've been eyeing for a minute, like 6-7 months. Did some research on, and essentially, like it encompassed like some coaching access, some.
Okay, time out before you go deep.
Yeah.
So the rest of us, instead of trying to look like the kid trying to get extra credit, we gave things like Michelle's was a blender or to make smoothies.
Oh.
And mine's was an air fryer.
Oh. Well, so, hey, either way, look, I purchased this program that's going to help me make money.
Let's go.
Okay. It's the best purchase I made. Literally, it's helping me think different. It's like, I just essentially in my business, I was just hustling, having to do all these appointments, talking to people. And it's like, I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I wanted something different, I needed to do something different. And it was an expensive cost, like probably the most I've spent on myself at one time. But I'm seeing results, and I'm happy I did it just for the fact that I chose to invest in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like hands down, because I know what I did this year, who knows where it's going to take me in the next 5 years. So that's my best purchase, man.
How did you determine it as your best purchase? What are you contrasting it against? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. Well, it's something that's going to like change my economic life. So, for example, when I purchased my second vehicle, context, I had a vehicle and then I bought a new vehicle, and the first vehicle was paid off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like buying the next vehicle, is it going to help my economic life? Like it gave me a dopamine boost for sure. I felt good, and it did, and it does feel good to drive something like, oh, okay, this is nice. But it's like, ultimately it's going to get you from point A to point B. Like what's going to actually do something for me that's going to like make a difference. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking like assets and liabilities?
I'm talking assets and liabilities. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a life that I want, that I can see it. So it's like this purchase, I feel like got me closer to that reality that I see in my head that I'm trying to pull out. Whereas some other purchases I've made, like I actually, what, there is another purchase. All right. So not like the extra credit answer, I guess. The Nintendo Switch.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, that purchase. So the other purchase is great. This Nintendo Switch, and I got the OLED, so it's kind of like the fancier one or whatever.
Yeah, I have no idea. My children love the Nintendo Switch. I know that if I got on it, I'd be addicted to it. So tell me what the OLED is. Give the breakdown. Okay, all the gamers know, but if you're a business person, just bear with us. We're just human.
Absolutely. So the Nintendo Switch OLED, it's I think it is probably the most amazing device in my household. I kid you not. So I bought it because I was looking at I'm a gamer at heart. I came up playing video games. I had a PS. I played like PlayStations and the Xboxes. Eventually, I got to PS5, but then there was a minute where I wasn't playing it, so I just sold it. But I was like, man, I want to play games again. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I want to do. And so I'm looking into different systems. I was looking into actually, like the Meta Quest. What is it called? The
Oculus
Rift. That's it.
That Facebook bought out.
Whole VR thing. And so I was looking at that for a minute, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. But I didn't go that route because I wanted to play something where I could like play with my wife, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or other people, and just be able to like host and like engage with other people. I didn't want to just be in my own world. And so I was like, okay, well, what else is out there? And then I was looking at the PlayStation, Xbox again. Then I came across Nintendo Switch, and it's communal. You know what I'm saying? So I bought it when I was on vacation. So I was able to play with my my brother, my sister-in-law and my sister when we were out there, and like I was traveling between Ohio and Virginia. Then got back here. My wife and I probably play Mario Kart, 4 out of 7 nights a week.
Wow.
Kid you not. And we're working on
who's better?
Are
you guys good?
Yeah, we're good. And I like to win. I play to win always.
You're competitive.
Yeah, I'm competitive. So but then we do team up, because right now we're trying to so on the different maps that you can race, you can get like up to a trophy and then 3 stars if you like rack it out. So essentially like four.
This is the racing game.
This is the racing one.
My children have made me and my wife play with them.
Okay, yeah.
And somebody in the back can throw things to throw you off, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
like the shells and the
That
boomerangs.
was me.
Gotcha.
Like a sinister villain.
Yes. So lately we've been like teaming up, trying to like not attack each other, so that way one of us can win, so we can like make the whole map gold essentially, and win out on all the maps.
Way to go, team. Word.
So it's I would say that thing is fun. And what's crazy, you can literally take that device, you can play it anywhere, and then with a power cord and an HDMI, you can hook it up to a TV, and then your quality doesn't change. Like, it's just sick. So shout out to Nintendo Switch.
Shout out to
they didn't pay this. Yeah,
they got to pay to play. So he had a system on some system.
Yeah, the system.
It's all good.
It's so fun though.
But I wanted to talk about. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah.
You added to the now. There's only one left that will ask when she returns. But we're the ones holding it down. This is not our full team, as you've met the others in other videos. But we're here and we're holding the fort down, making sure to not burn it. I told them when I was on vacation, don't, keep the house still standing. Don't throw a party, all that good stuff. But now that we're back in play, I've been looking at how a lot of people are concerned about the economic atmosphere. People are talking about inflation. People are talking about the devaluation of currency. People are talking about how it affects them, whether it's the gas prices, whether it's the interest rate on their, mortgage or their car, loan, or people trying to get money to expand in their business and not really finding access to capital. And so my question that we even posed in the title of it is, how are you looking at life? Do you approach life from a reactive perspective, or do you approach it from a proactive? And let's define these words for people so that
let's get it. Yeah, let's get it.
Have
here, I can look at proactive. You look at reactive.
Let's go. Reactive is, I know what reactive is. Reactive means to be tending to be responsive or react to a stimulus characterized by reaction. I hate when they do that. Tending to participate readily in reactions. So it's occurring as a result of stress or emotional upset. Interesting. Of or relating or marked by reaction or reactance. And reaction means the act or process of instance of reacting.
Love it when they define the word by the word.
Resistance or opposition to a force, influence, or movement. So it's resistance. Interesting. All right, go ahead. Especially tendency toward a former and usually outmoded political or social order or policy. A response to some treatment, situation, or stimulus. A bodily response to an activity aroused by stimulus. The force that a body subjected to an action of force from another body exerts in the opposite direction. Now we're getting scientific. But to react, it means it's something happens and it's the pushing back on something that happens. Something comes towards, and then there's a reaction.
What happens after a stimulus?
What happens after a stimulus?
Okay. Proactive, serving to prepare for, intervene in, or control an expected occurrence or situation, especially a negative or challenging one.
Nice.
I like that. Tending to initiate change rather than reacting to events. That's an adjective. And then the cycle of or denoting a mental process that affects a subsequent process.
Okay. So proactive.
I actually like that.
Proactive is more initiator. One is an initiator. Are you a victim of change? Or are you an agent of change? So when it comes to your own economic situation, how are you handling? When it comes to your business, are you proactive in your approach of handling or how you handle your business? Are you setting up systems? Are you setting up processes? Are you taking and evaluating how the business is gonna? Are you taking care of your customers? Do they see you as the guide for them in this uncertain time? When we're in an uncertain time, how are you bringing assurance to your customers that you're going to make life better for them? That seems to me to be the way that you can stay afloat, is how are you keeping in contact with those that have been bringing in the revenue to your business based upon your relationship of how you've served and met their problem. So what would you say that you see with most businesses? Are they proactive or reactive? And then you can talk a little bit about your book and some of the things that you saw in the book.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the businesses that are proactive are able to. The characteristics are usually they're able to pivot quicker. They're more resilient, and you usually see them at the top 20% of their markets, really, or industries. Like the people that don't leave things to chance. You know, I was reading. Oh man, I hopefully I can remember the reference of the book, but they're talking about Bill Gates and how he was super, not like pessimistic, but like
cautious,
worrisome type.
Yes.
And I think the book's coming to me. I'll remember it. But anyways, they're talking about him and that dynamic and how is like he was always worried about like something, and so instead of just doing nothing about it, he would over prepare. And so when different things came up in the market against Microsoft, whether it was like political or competitor, like they were, if they didn't have an answer, they were able to pivot and find an answer quickly.
Yeah.
And so there's just something to be said about when you're being proactive. And I mean, I love that definition. You're seeking to essentially control a subsequent action, like as a potential reality. You're looking to control it. So the businesses that are doing that, you're observant, you're taking action, and you're doing things about it instead of just worrying about it. And usually, you know, like if you're reactive to something, you're not putting extra thought into your process. You're just trying to solve a symptom of a problem when really the problem isn't even being solved.
Whatever I choose to give my attention to, whatever I focus on, my energy flows towards that, right? So if I'm focused on the problem rather than the solution, then I can be overwhelmed. I become anxious, and most of us become paralyzed because we're focusing on the problem, right? We're not thinking, we're not allowing our brain to creatively think of solutions. We're not going to, imagine when you are in a rough time in a situation with your business, if you went to businesses that were winning to figure out what are the habits, what are the tactics, what are the strategies, who are the people that they have on their team. We talk about who's the particular set of who's that they've added to their team. Research and development. I was interested in that because to me, that's a proactive approach because you're staying aware of, you talked about Mr. Gates. I looked up companies that have spent the most in R&D worldwide in 2022. So number one, we got Amazon, then we got Meta, then we have Alphabet. I'm gonna send you the link. Then we have Apple, then we have Hawaii, then we have Microsoft, then we have Samsung, then we have Tencent and Intel, and last but not least, Volkswagen. And it's interesting to me, Amazon spent the most on research and development in the fiscal year with over 73 billion US dollars. They spent 73 billion. So you may not, you're like, I don't even have 1,000 right now. I don't have 500 or I don't have 2,000 in my bank account. With your business and with your life, how much are you how much time and how much are you investing to avail yourself of the, not just general, but the specific information that you need that will take your business to the next level?
That's good. That's a key insight because you look at how much they spent on R&D, and then you look at that stock ticker price, you look at the amount of success they have.
You mean it's not accidental?
You would say that success is inevitable when you have the right habits.
Yes.
I mean, that's great. Like they're testing things, and then that's research and development. So, and we put as entrepreneurs, so much pressure on ourselves to be like perfect, have a perfect result, perfect life, yada yada, like Instagram highlight reel, always outcome. And it's like research and development.
Yeah.
Even breaking that down, you're testing something, which means you're going to try something that might fail, that might not work. Are you investing time to research and develop an idea, a thought process, a habit? I mean, that's like a whole nother.
Yeah, because you have we all have it says leading by innovation. Spending money on research and development, or R&D, is how a company innovates new technologies and conducts research to develop new products and services. R&D allows companies such as Amazon to stay ahead of their competition and work towards the future. Most of the R&D spending in the world is in 2021 was within health and the pharmaceutical industry, as we would imagine with the shutdown, right? But currently companies are investing in AI, including how they can, so that they can expand, and how they are getting an edge on their competition. So what are the tools, what technologies, what things are you, what the Bible talks about in all you're getting, get an understanding, right? It says wisdom is the principal thing, get wisdom. One of my mentors told me that there's 3 reasons why people fail in life or business. And he said, no plan is number 1. Number 2 was no, and so we know with no plan, right? Without a vision, the people perish, or they cast off restraint. Write the vision and make it plain. If you don't have a vision for your business, where are you going? If you can't clearly articulate what your business is, who your business serves, what the target market is, what is their income, what's their avatar, where are they? We handle all this in our Sharks at the Beach, and then we review a lot of it in our Thrive program to allow people to figure out what better systems can they put in their business so that they can scale their business to the next level. So no plan was number 1. No commitment to the plan was number 2. So no commitment to the plan is that those that the plan that you do have, they don't commit to the plan. They don't follow through on executing on how to, as we even talked about, like research and development, right? If you see a skilled person, they won't serve in obscurity, but they'll serve before people of influence. So if you become skilled in an area, what are the specific skills you need? What are the people skills you need, right? What are the soft skills and the hard skills? You might have to invest in some training. You might have to go and get some seminars and courses. You might have to be involved in a community that thrives off having a growth mindset and learning. Or you can be content just being average and be reactive, and then be frustrated at where things are at. So number 2 was no commitment to the plan. And then number 3 was they move too slowly. And to me, that is the epitome of being reactive. It's moving too slowly. You know what you're supposed to do. You know who you're supposed to talk to. You know who you're supposed to connect with. But it is these mind monsters that drive us out of the birthright of being effective. So number 1, no plan. Number 2, no commitment to the plan. When I ask people what is a commitment, it's like this. Hey, shout out to my wife. It's our anniversary. We're just a teenager now. I mean, not just 13, but the amount of years, we're just a pimple-faced teenager trying to figure our way out. But I'm thankful to the Lord for that. So commitment, people, I ask students, what is commitment? And they talk about, hey, that ring on your finger. It's something that you've made. It's an agreement. It's a solemn, oath and agreement that you have committed to follow through with this, right? The stick-to-itiveness, the resilience, the grit, as that's a Michelle word. There you go. But what is the commitment that you have to the plan? And then what are you're not just fickle, and you're not doing it, not stopping when it's inconvenient, but you're continuing on. And then moving too slowly, that you're proactive. How important is it to be proactive?
Yeah.
What businesses have you seen recently that have really caught your attention because they've been proactive?
Kind of thinking of a real world example. Nothing's coming to my head right now. I mean, outside of just being able to see the stats on Amazon doing their R&D like that, that's just huge. And they're really just taking over everything. I mean, they're kind of the model for proactivity. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I was impressed by Apple. I'm not impressed by the products as of recently. And, they're not giving us this. We're just merely talking. No sponsorships yet. But we talked about Apple really hit me because of the fact that they talked about their virtual reality headset thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they released that information so that so that developers would come forth and say, hey, you got about a year to get some apps developed. I said, that's proactive. They're saying, hey, we're going to open up the kit. We're going to release the developer kit to people so that they can get on it and start helping us. This is an open play field for you. Come and play on this play field. Here's your sandbox. Come play in it. Let's see what you can build. And so what about your business? Are you creating the opportunities for people to come around, for people to connect, for people to build on what it is that you brought to the table? How can your service get better? How can your product be better? How can their experience be better with you? How can the interactions? What are the things that are people are coming to you for this continual result, right? We have people that have talked about why people use their product and the value that they get out of it. When it's a food product, they love it. I gotta have it in my collect. I gotta get it weekly. Amen. We want that. We want the reuse factor. If you're creating cutlery or you're creating, utensils for which people eat, why do they come to you over others? If it's clothing, why is your garment what is the story that goes with it? Shout out to one of our coaches, Chris, who did the whole Donald Miller, Michelle's book story brand and was breaking down the importance of your narrative and your story. One of the books I have really enjoyed is Buy, Then Build by Walker Deibel. Hopefully I'm saying your name. How acquisition entrepreneurs outsmart the startup game. So it walks through the value of why should you consider acquiring a business? What's the value of getting a business that's already cash flowing? You have the baby boomer. It's called the, what is it called? The silver, oh my gosh, I want to say this right. Until then, you go ahead and talk.
You know what? Something that I've been kind of thinking about just through this conversation is, simply put, being proactive in your business, it really just comes down to giving it thought and taking action on the thought that you're giving it. That simply put, if you have a problem, or it's not even waiting until problems come up. It's thinking about what potential problems could come up, creating a plan, and then taking action to create your defenses, build your moat, create your walls. Like if this is a Rome or if this is a castle, your business is a castle, then it's about thinking, okay, what is my castle vulnerable to? Okay, and then what do I need to do to defend it? And it's literally that simple. It's giving it thought and then taking action on those thoughts. And then another thing I started wondering, maybe we can even give it 60 seconds of thought, but what is the process of choosing? Because proactive and reactive, it's in business, but even say like, you find yourself in an argument. Do you choose to react to the emotional stimulus that's been given to you by the other person, or maybe not even by the other person? Maybe you've misinterpreted something, you don't even know it yet, but how you feel it's given you an emotion. So we can choose to be proactive and maybe investigate that emotion and say, what I'm hearing is this correct? Is this what you said? Is this what you meant? Or reactive, okay, you've given me this stimulus. This is what I think that you said. So I'm going to react off of that. Boom, boom, boom. I'll tell you.
I learned that in a therapy session. They asked me out because I was telling I have my whole, movie that I've created. And they say, whoa, slow down. Check your perception. I said, check my perception? Shit checking me in my session? I needed it though. Are you slowing down? Or are you checking your perception? Because as you just said, you can be reactive or you can respond. To respond is deliberate, intentional, taking time, reflecting, but reacting is just, as we said, the stimulus, the pushback, right? So are you reacting or are you responding? The mature thing is that we respond. Are you responding to what's happening with the economy? Or are you reacting? to what's happening to the economy? Are you just hunker down? They said the prices are this, the cost of the goods are going to go up, so we can't do this, we can't do that. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Well, how can you create more offers? How can you create more income streams for your business? What are the assets you already have, and how are you cultivating those assets? Cultivation is the pathway to increase. To cultivate and develop what you have and treat it well is the way that things go to the next level. The reference that I made was a report that I had read recently called "The Silver Tsunami and Its Effect on the M&A, which is Mergers and Acquisition Landscape." So the silver tsunami is the huge amount of baby boomers that are retiring from business and that don't have anyone to give the business to. Their family may have seen them work on it for quite some time, and they have no interest in taking it over. They may not just be interested in the actual industry. They may have forged their own life by going to school or starting their own thing. They might want to forge their own path. So these are businesses with customers. These are businesses that already have a brand and a reputation. What is all that IP that you could consider acquiring? What's that intellectual property? What's that capital that's there, that's sitting right there, that's someone who is going to step to the plate and learn it and learn the industry and take it over and make that acquisition, and then figure out, do you want to buy it and hold it like real estate, or do you want to fix it up and then sell it for a multiple and invest in something else that creates wealth for your community and that creates opportunities? So these are things that we're considering. We love to pose these ideas before you. As we said, we'll do more live training, but this is just a little taste of the conversations and the programs that we have here at Urban Impact. We have our principles course that's opened up. The app is actually live right now. So if you want to sign up for principles, talk about principles a little bit as we're closing out.
Absolutely. October 12th is the first day of the 3-week session for Thrive Principles. Super, super excited about this. If you're interested in growing your business, if you're interested in trying to find a way to make more money in less time with less effort, this is going to be the course that you want to get into. Also, it's really cool because this is one of the courses that feeds into our actual Thrive cohort. So you'll have an opportunity to apply. Not everyone gets to get into the Thrive cohort. However, if you want to just get a taste of what it is to gather a better mindset, I definitely encourage you, sign up for Thrive Principles. You'll really enjoy it. It's going to be 3 weeks. We're going to challenge you. There is going to be homework. It's not going to be, set and forget it, tap in on the Zoom call and go cook dinner. Like, we're going to be here. We're going to be engaged. We're going to be in person, and we're going to be invested in you and your business. So definitely come check out.
Show up, sign up now.
Thrive Principles.
Tickets are hot. Thrive Principles. So,
be proactive.
Yes, be proactive. Okay. What are you waiting for?
Be early.
You should be signed up right now. You should have cut this off and went and signed up already.
If you were proactive,
hey, send a comment, put a comment, all the YouTube steps, subscribe, share. We need the algorithm to get us popping. That's how it is. Do people say popping anymore? I don't know. Or they say something is...
Maybe we can proactively bring it back.
We're proactively bringing it back.
Let's pop.
So I'm old. There we go. Godspeed to everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Your business goes forward with excellence, and the Father would prosper you as you are adhering to these principles and learning them and applying them. So we thank you for tuning in, and we're excited for the future. Shalom, shalom. See you next week.